This Sunday, our readings point us to the lineage of faith. In the first reading in Paul's letter, second letter to the Thessalonians, he exhorts them to hold fast to the faith as it has been taught to them and to embrace that tradition that they have received. It's a very appropriate sentiment for the Sunday after All Saints Sunday. And in the gospel, Jesus is having a little bit of a debate with some of the temple scholars of his day, and they're going back and forth with a little bit of the minutia of Jewish theology at the time. And Jesus' concluding sentence is, God is God of the living, not of the dead. And that idea that faith and our tradition is a living faith. Faith itself lives on, and that we are part of that endless cycle of faith throughout our lives, through those that have come before us and those that are come after. So you'll see echoes of that idea of holding fast to that tradition and indeed living into that tradition. You'll hear echoes of that through all of the prayers and the texts that we sing all through the service. To that point, we will be coming in singing The God of Abraham Praise, hymn 401. And this is one of two hymns in our hymnal that are based on the Yigdal. The Yigdal is a Jewish, it's what amounts to their creed or their articles of faith. It was codified probably sometime in the 12th century. In the 15th century then, there was a rabbi that versified it, put it into a form of metrical rhyming poetry. And then in the 18th century, contemporary English priest, theologian, hymn writer went to a service at London's Great Temple, heard them chanting the Yigdal, and was so taken with it that he wrote his own English version of it and Christianized it, made it more suitable for Christian worship. And that's the setting that we will be singing this Sunday, The God of Abraham Praise, who reigns enthroned above. And it does have some Christian imagery in it. The other version that's in our hymnal is a version that dates from the very early part of the 20th century, and it removed those specifically Christian elements so that it could be used either in Christian or in Jewish contexts. But in both places, in both versions of this text based on the Yigdal, the tune that appears in our hymnal is the traditional tune that Jewish congregations would know. So for instance, here in town, if you went to Temple Beth El and they were singing the Yigdal, you would be singing it to the same tune. Very grand and triumphant sort of a hymn, and it really has that idea of articulating our faith, our creed. At the offertory, the choir will be singing, again, another text that talks about living through that tradition and inheriting it and also passing it on to future generations. And this time it's a text by one of the best known and loved hymn writers of the Christian church, Charles Wesley. It's his poem, Love Divine, All Loves Excelling, set with that very familiar Welsh tune, Hyfrydol. And in this setting by contemporary American composer Mac Wilberg, for choir, it starts very gentle and it expands through its setting and becomes this very large and triumphant articulation of faith. So again, as we live through our faith, as we carry on our faith here at St. John's Cathedral, we hope that you will come and worship with us. You may always join us for our Rite One service in the chapel at 8 o'clock. And at 10:30 in the Cathedral Church for our Rite Two service with choir, here in person, or as always, you can stream it online at our YouTube channel, SJCKNOX. But as you live into and hold fast to your faith tradition, we hope that you will join us in worship here at St. John's Cathedral.